Hello and welcome to On Your Lane, the best place for ambitious people who are taking charge of their lives, making that impact, making that money, and living a fulfilling life. And today, we're going to part two of the assessment of your business, career, what you're doing with your life right now. Part two is on the flip side. On part one, we talked about you just identifying your area of interest, of strength, and operating in it. Now we're going to talk about what to do when you're in a place where you're not really loving it. You're not operating in your area of strength. You don't love what you do. You're stuck in an average rut. You're tired of no more. You want more. You don't know where to start. And so we're going to get into that and get you moving out of average, because nobody is interested in average. Do you even go somewhere and say, okay, I'm just gonna go out and watch an average movie and eat an average meal? No, average sucks. I'm going to have an average cup of coffee. No, I just want to look average on this picture. No, we all want excellent. We pay for excellence, right? We want to achieve some level of mastery. And that's why it's important for us to move away from the average rut. And a little bit of my story on this is that growing up, we're taught on what works and what doesn't work as a career. I was talking to my mother recently. I was like, you saw my gifts and my talents and what I was drawn to. Why did you encourage me to pursue a career that was contrary to my obvious area of strengths? She was like, well, I just wanted the best for you. And that makes sense, right? It's fair because of proven track records of, let's say, accountants, doctors, engineers. Parents feel safer to say, okay, be that. But the challenge now is, what kind of engineer are you going to be if you're not interested in your technical things? If you don't do well in the classes, but you do well enough to pass the test, but you don't improve, you're going to be an average engineer. And so the whole essence, the whole idea of you being able to earn a good living in that field is going to diminish, because you're going to be an average engineer, right? You're going to be an average accountant, an average doctor, not an exceptional one. Because the exceptional people get to be at the top of their field and the top money and the top influence and do the amazing cool things that everybody gets attracted to. But we don't talk about the average people who are in the field, that they don't really move any waters. They just get the bare minimum. They live paycheck to paycheck. They struggle even though they're in a good field. So there are lawyers who are doing amazing, but there are also lawyers who are struggling. There are doctors and all these roles and offices and careers that we exalt and parents exalt, that are really average and they're struggling. And everybody knows, if you are going to get better, don't go to that doctor, because they think that doctor sucks at what he does. So it's important for us as we grow to get to a place where we're like real with ourselves. Am I gifted in this area? Am I good in it? Am I okay with being average in it? Or do I want to be bold and stand up and step up into an area that is one of my giftings? Because if you are, let's say, 2% at what you do right now, and you suck at it naturally, right? I'm trying to think of an area where I'm 2% at, and that is playing a guitar. Hey, I had ambitions to learn how to play guitar, and maybe I could have gotten better, but I just couldn't consistently do it. I was bored out of my mind. I just wanted to get to being like Carlos Santana or whoever does guitar amazingly. I just wanted to get there. I didn't want to put in the work. So I was really 2% at it. I could have maybe put in the work. I'm not very musical, but then I could have maybe gotten to 20%. But 20% is still not good enough, right? So I could do a lot of work to get me to 20%. And that's it. Would I be paid a paid musician? Maybe. But would I be like top of my field? Definitely not. Would I be paid really well? Definitely not. But I'd still be a musician. So if you're 2% and naturally not gifted at whatever you're doing, there are chances are high that you just be average in it and you won't be able to fly as high as you think you might. That's just how it is. But let's say if you're 60% at something, for me that's communicating. If I'm 60% at communicating, I can keep learning it. I can keep practicing it. I can invest time and hours and maybe get to 70% or maybe 80%. Do you pay for 80%? Oh yeah. Can I earn a good living at 80%? Yes. Why am I getting to 80%? Because it's an area of my strength. So your strengths are there for a reason. Your weaknesses are there for a reason. They direct you on where you should go and who you need in your team. So in my area of weakness, I need somebody who covers me, right? Somebody who's more analytical, somebody who is less visionary, more operational. Those are the people I need in my team because they cover my weaknesses, right? So strengths and weaknesses are not negatives and positives. They're just a guide in life on areas you should focus on and areas that you need support in. Because really life is a team game, right? You can't do it solo. You need to get the right people around you to go far. And you build together and grow together. Right, so what do we need to do to move away from the average rat, the sea of averages? Number one, self-education. This is you taking the initiative to educate yourself, about your interests, about the options that are there within your interests. So if I talk about my gift is communication, my gift is being able to educate, then what are the options there? What kind of career path can I choose? What kind of businesses can I start? Right? So self-education will open your eyes and open opportunities up that you never knew existed. But it is really a discipline act, a self-control act. You have to get yourself there to map up your own curricula, to say, okay, I'm going to learn about 1, 2, 3. Right? So I'm going to learn about media. I'm going to learn about maybe other forms of what else is there? I'm going to learn about maybe online education. I'm going to learn these things and see where I fit. If it's not something that I'm interested in, I need to pivot and find something else and explore. Self-education is you understanding also your strengths and weaknesses, your abilities, your flaws, what you can do about them, what you can do to strengthen your strengths. What do you need to do? What do you need to learn? What do you need to expose yourself to? Self-education is important. It's the best kind of education because it brings enlightenment from within. Right? All other education is from without. Right? So people will tell you according to trends, according to their experience, according to themselves. But self-education allows you to see yourself and say, I thrive in this environment. I will do well in this environment. Or I need to get out of here. Or when you are understanding that, okay, my job is not terrible. It's just me who is ill positioned in it. Then you can cultivate the skill set that you need in that area that you need to get better at. Or even saying, okay, so I might not be able to leave my job or do whatever or change my career yet because I depend on my parents and my parents want me to stick to this. But what are the things I can do on the side that cultivate or that expose me to the things that I'm interested in or naturally gifted in? Right? So the first one is self-education. It is super important. Invest in books, invest in courses, short courses online, invest in podcasts, invest in learning, invest in expanding your view. Don't just entertain yourself. Learn, grow. And when you are curious about something, follow that curiosity, see what it leads to. Expose your strengths. Like if you are always solving problems, put yourself, volunteer in places where you can just learn about how to solve those problems and help people. In self-educating, you are also learning not just about yourself, but about your interests. So if you're interested in music, but you can't sing, then you could start learning more about music and thinking, okay, what other area can I play in? And because you're also learning about yourself, then when you learn about your interest, you might find, oh, I can be a great producer actually. No, I can make beats. Maybe I can do maybe other instruments, whatever it is, because you are now learning, it starts exposing yourself, it starts exposing you to opportunities that lie within that can match your interest. So self-education is not just you learning about yourself, which is important, which is self-development, but it's also you learning about your specific interests, your specific curiosities. The second point is start working on the skills that you see are promising within you, that you think you can really get good at. Because you're trying to explore and get yourself in an area where you are operating in your strengths, be open, all right? Be open to the skills that are coming up, right? So I talk about singing, maybe you write and all that. Do that, practice it and see how do you feel about it. Don't quit because it's hard. Quit because you suck. It's a thin line. So you need to keep practicing, give it your time, give it your all, give it to somebody who can assess it and say, what do you think? And then try it after a month, after practice, and think, did I get any better? Am I improving? Keep learning, keep trying, keep exploring, right? So you need to practice the skills that you believe with time you can get better at. There'll be a lot of trial and error. There'll be a lot of time that you need to invest, but you want to really operate in an area where you're remarkable in, right? You need to get out of this average rut, right? Therefore, you have time to invest in this. You have time to explore. And don't be really mushy and emotional about this. When you find that you have invested time and you're not good at something, it's okay. You have learned a few things from there. Take the lessons, leave the pain, and move on to the next thing. Because those people who find their skill and their gifting sometimes find it by luck, right? So you have to keep trying. The more you try different things and give your time to them and then learn from them and move on to the next thing, you're building bridges that will lead you to that thing where you go like, hey, I love what I'm doing. Hey, I want to stick to this. Hey, I want to cultivate this in the long haul. The other thing you can do is, and you should do, is find the tribe. Find the right tribe. I think I talk about this a lot and I'll keep talking about it because it's essential. We as people are community people. We love being part of a crowd. We love being part of a group, part of a clique. And so we tend then to average out in that clique. When you're around people who are terrible in a certain area, let's say with their finances, and you hang around with them a lot, guess who is about to be terrible in their finances? You. If you hang around people who are excellent, who are doing well, and you hang around them all the time, guess who's about to be excellent and do well? You. Why do we do that? Because we rub off each other. And even the Bible says iron sharpens iron. When you hang around the right people, you get sharpened in the right things. And so you want the tribe, a right tribe to help you explore. If you're just with people who think, oh, just chill, you just be chilling. When you're like, okay, I have to go work on something, I want to develop something, they'll be like, what for? Why? Stop it. No, let's just chill. Life is hard. So you need to find that tribe. Put yourself out there. Be willing to listen and learn from other people. That's how you find people who have got common interests. Put your interests out there on social media. Expose yourself and have people give you feedback or connect in people in groups. Go to masterminds. Go to mixers. I love paid mixers, not free mixers, because free mixers usually attract people who are just exploring. They don't want to do anything about it, but they're just exploring. So go to places where you pay to get in and then connect with people there and talk to people and listen to people. Your tribe is essential in getting you where you need to go because it will help with accountability. It will also help with creativity when it's hard and life is getting harder or the challenge is big. Your tribe will help you, check on you, encourage you, motivate you, and we all need that. We all need that. And not having a tribe shouldn't stop you because this tribe doesn't have to be physical, it can be online. Be sure to surround yourself and that you're following people who are pursuing something that you're interested in or you want to explore in. This will be key to building you in your area of your strength and getting you out of your rut. The fourth thing that I would encourage you to do is use your skill for free. Volunteer. You want to build confidence in your skill as you're perfecting it, but you also want to practice in real life, in a real life setting. So if you're designing websites, for example, go and identify people in your community who don't have a website but need a website and say, I'll design it for you for free. And then you can refer me, or I'll put my brand there so people can get in touch with me. And then you're practicing it for free and you're building a portfolio and gaining confidence in maybe negotiating, talking with people. You need this space because you're not an expert in it yet. You can't charge yet. So put yourself out there and do it for free. And this is one way of also connecting with other people who are doing the same thing. And this is how you build a tribe, because somebody will see your work and say, hey, who did this? And they'll say, yeah, somebody did it. And then you're connecting like minds and attracting like minds. It's so easy to attract like minds when you are putting yourself out there and trying, really practicing in your craft or in your area of interest. So I encourage you to do these steps and get yourself out of this rut. Get yourself out of the sea of average. I believe you're able to be great. I believe you're able to be amazing. But you need to be bold enough to stand up and make the change. And it's time. If you're watching this video and you've come this far, it is time. Follow through these 4 steps. 1, self-education. Get as much of it as possible. 2, start working on a skill that you believe you could get better at and you enjoy doing. 3, find your tribe, connect with like minds. And 4, do it for free. Build confidence and build a portfolio. I hope this was helpful for you. Connect with me across all the socials. Mavis Zaina Kanjadza. I just love to hear from you and connect with you. On YouTube, please like, please share, Please subscribe and look forward to more videos. I post every Tuesday and Thursday, and sometimes, just for the fun of it, on Mondays too. What? So stick around and let's grow together. See you soon. Mwah.